Jim, it's good to see you again. I'm not expecting you to remember this, but you're one of the few celebrities I can say I interviewed twice in one day. This was back in San Diego Comic-Con. I interviewed you, I think, somewhere off in a hotel nearby. And then later on that day at the Entertainment Weekly red carpet, you were there with the guy that I guess co-wrote the Avengers Endgame. So
You were part of that huge mass of people. Yes, I
yes.
remember Jim from that.
I'm excited to talk about Dreadstar Return. Before we get into that, because one thing I was so upset I didn't get to ask you, because at that San Diego Comic-Con, one of your creations was announced to be a new Marvel movie, as Shang-Chi. So can you tell,
Yes.
yeah, can you tell me a little about him and his creation? I guess he came, was it created in 1973?
Well, basically, he was in response to the TV series Kung Fu with David Carradine, in which both Steve Englehart and I were both big fans of. And we went over to DC, which was owned by Warner Brothers at that point, and they didn't want to do a Kung Fu TV comic book. They didn't think it had any legs. And so instead they did a pirate book, as I recall. And that, how well that worked out. And so we went over to Marvel and started putting together a Kung Fu character. And along the way, Fu Manchu was grafted on it because I thought it was Stan, but I guess it was Roy who bought the rights to it from the Romer family. And so we started putting it together, and the first issue came out, and I finally sat down and read a Fu Manchu book and was kind of horrified by it. And as much as I enjoyed starting up the book, I didn't want to stay with it because of that association. And so I ended up quitting after the third issue and went off and did Captain Marvel instead.
Well, very cool.
But Paul Gulacy and Steve Englehart did a terrific
yeah,
job.
and now your creation's a new movie coming out, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice to have happen again. Yes.
Yeah. So, I that's one thing I love about doing press. It kind of exposes myself to things. And Dreadstar Returns, I guess, this comic that you did a sexful Kickstarter campaign. I guess tell us about the characters and who owns the rights to this, because I saw the guidebook. Some of these characters appeared in Marvel comic books, and then now is this going to be outside of a Marvel comic book or something that's just brand new?
Oh, Dreadstar has always been outside of the Marvel Comics.
Okay.
Dreadstar did appear in Epic Illustrated to begin with, but
okay, so it has been in some Marvel stuff, but it's always been outside of it. Okay, all right.
Yes, but I've always owned the copyright onto it. And it went off to other publishers, Eclipse, Malibu, Slave Labor, and now it's at Ominous. And so it's always a Jim Starlin project, copyright. It's just different publishers.
Gotcha.
So Sherlock Holmes has had a lot of different publishers over the years also.
Okay. So yeah, I guess let's talk about the characters in it exactly, because they're really colorful. And I guess you do have a lot of like space stuff with a lot of your characters. I feel like,
I don't like drawing horses or cars.
So it's easier just to draw. Can you tell us some of the backstories with these characters? Especially Dreadstar himself.
Well, Dreadstar himself, he's an anarchist without a second act. Basically a fellow with a magic sword who likes to bring down evil empires. Doesn't know what to do with them after that. He's partnered up with Eddie, a cat man, who's a martial artist and has other talents, and Willow, who is what we call a cybernetic telepath, who can not only read minds, but she can also read the minds of AIs, artificial intelligence.
Oh, really? Wow.
And do controls of both into limited amounts. We have Two-Ton, who is a lumbering brute. He's going to be a character prominent in Dreadstar Returns. Fix, who is sort of a mercenary type, cyborg kind of character, not a very nice person. He's there just to make Dreadstar look good. And it was all being put together and inked by Jamie here, who has come onto the job of late and has been doing a beautiful job of embellishing my pencils so that we can print them up and take them along.
Yeah, James, I'd love to get your input on that, working on this project.
Been fun. Interesting time to work on it during a pandemic, but it's fun.
Do you have any particular characters you like enjoy working with or story background? I think for me, the Dark Lock, I that's someone I would probably love to cosplay as, just looking at him, you know.
I love Eddie. Eddie's one of my favorites. Two-Tone is adorable in his own dumb kind of way, but I love Willow, of course. But I mean, it's just really interesting characters, like all the different encounters of different creatures throughout the story. I mean, bringing back, Jim brought back a lot of the old characters from, 25 years ago that I got to revisit and look at some of the old stuff to see what they were, or, like some of them I did not know at all. It's like, who's this one? So of course it's a little research going on too, but fun stuff. But I love, Eddie's my favorite.
Okay. Anyone could look at my old interview with Jim about his background in comics, but I'd like to get your input. Like, where did your passion for comics kind of come from that made you want to get into the comic industry? Was a certain issue or anything, or something you just always remember drawing as a child?
No, I always loved comics. I loved Spider-Man. I loved anything comic related as a kid, the Justice League, of course, but Spider-Man was always my favorite. I love Dr. Doom, but literally love Dr. Doom.
A lot. She really loves Dr. Doom.
My cat, my cat is named Victor Von Doom.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Doom is my favorite. Sorry, Thanos, you're cool, but Doom, that's where it's at. No, I didn't drawing comics. That was not the plan. I started out, I used to do a lot of Comic Cons with some friends of mine, and met Scott Hampton, who was working, he was going to be working on American Gods, which was one of my favorite books. I'm a huge Gaiman fan, so I was like, oh my gosh. And he'd asked if I'd want to, be like the actress / model for the actual graphic novel. And I started doing the layouts and with photography and everything for the story, and started doing some drawing and coming up with some ideas for that. And then later worked with a couple other people, started inking Keith Giffen, and just kind of fell into it. It wasn't something I went after, which I know sounds weird, but I've been working on some of my own ideas in the past and everything. And I've always like written stories and stuff, but like putting it with, cool graphic novel stuff is, it's cool.
Okay. So how'd you get up hooking up with Jim? Like, I randomly met at a Comic Con or something, or?
Oh, no, I'm just annoyed.
This is your turn to tell this story, because I blew a big hole in my hand about 4 years ago. And I didn't draw for about 3 years, and then Jamie came along. Take it from there, Jamie.
Well, actually, it was Spencer, our art dealer, who I'd been begging for a Dr. Doom from, again, Dr. Doom from Jim. And Spencer went up and he was like, look, you've met James in the past. She really, really wants a Dr. Doom from you. And he just kept refusing, and I'm very annoying. And so I finally made him draw the Dr. Doom. And I realized that it looked all right. He actually drew a Dr. Doom. And he started sketching out some stuff. I mean, hadn't drawn in a long time. And I thought, for somebody that can't draw, this Doom isn't bad, And of course, it's like in a very special place.
I was gonna say, I hope you still have that somewhere.
Oh yeah, I still got it.
Like a vault somewhere.
Art that I love. But then he started doing some. He saw me at a con. I was doing some stuff with Keith Giffen, and then Keith didn't make it to a con, and I was bored out of my mind. Like I usually ink Keith when I'm there, or I print or whatever. That's kind of dull. So he had drawn out some pencils, and he had me ink those. And next thing you know, he's asking me to do Dreadstar. So.
Wow, that is awesome. All because of Dr. Doom, too.
All because of an annoying love of Dr. Doom.
Very cool. So this is a 100-page graphic novel. It comes out, I guess, next month. And then is there plans for
out through Omnibus already?
Okay.
It's available through Omnibus. It's not in the bookstores yet. Because we have to get a distribution deal, but it is in you can go to Ominous and get the hardcover edition.
Very cool. Is there plans for more of these, or just this one? And yeah.
No, I'm 60 pages into the next one, and I think
Nice.
Jamie's 17 pages.
Oh, I'm further than that. I just have to finish them off.
Yeah.
I won't let him see them yet.
She's very fussy.
Well, I think it's very cool in this day and age that we can, like, self-fund stuff. You don't need like a major publisher, right, to get something like this published, right, Jim? Isn't that, it's pretty crazy? Because you've been in the industry for a long time. You basically had to go to Marvel or DC or I guess Dark Horse, I guess.
In the long run, that's how it always has been. But now with the crowdfunding, we were able to do smaller things. We are going to be linking up with somebody to distribute it to the comic book shops. That's in the works right now. That's not definite yet. But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, there's a whole different world out there than what used to be. Everything's always changing.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of changing, things are starting to get back to normal. People being vaccinated. Do you guys plan to go to any cons? Hopefully, the end of this year or next year. Hopefully.
Yep.
Yep. Jamie, as she said, we're going to do a terrific con together. That's that's
End of July, early
End of July.
Okay.
I think we have one up in Washington State.
Yes.
In June.
In late June, I believe.
Yeah, the two professionals here. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah. We may do LA Comic-Con. We're not sure on that one. And there's another one that's still in talks, but definitely Terrificon in Washington State.
Yeah, we got two of them.
Very
so
cool.
far. Yeah.
All right. Well, website, social media wise, where people can save the date, where if you guys be doing any events, and where they can order. You said the hardcover now. Is there a website, social media wise?
Go to ominous.com to see about the book. Jamie and I are both pretty horrible about this social media thing.
You two are so busy making amazing stuff. So
yeah, I'm going to try and put notices up on Facebook, Instagram. I do have it. I just hardly ever get to it.
Gotcha.
We'll get more. We'll get things out there. Jamie, what do you got out there right now?
Well, I used to do a lot more social media before the pandemic. Pandemic, there wasn't a lot to post.
Yeah, that's true. Here I am on my couch again.
Me, it was I'm in bed. I'm in bed. Here's my cat. Here's my dog in bed.
There's still no way to tell whether I have pants on or not.
Well, congratulations on Dreadstar Returns, and hopefully I'll see you Sunday at some convention, and I will ask for a Dr. Doom for both of you.
Yes, Dr. Doom.
All right, you both take care, all right?
You too.
All right.
I like the shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah, I got this at Comic-Con.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
The day I did interview you twice, I bought it. Yeah.
I just saw survived and then I
there you go.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I don't think I would want to survive the snap. I probably would be, 5 years later. I feel like, I wouldn't want to live through those 5 years after being a year in a pandemic. It's like,
Well, I went to the site that determined whether you survived. I didn't.
I'm really your own
awesome.
creation snapped you away.
And you're wearing a Dreadstar shirt, Jim, aren't you?
Oh yeah, hold it. Yeah, stand up so I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it says believe. Yes, I have to get the whole thing back here, and there.
Well.
All right, it says believe down on the bottom. It's a takeoff on the.
Oh yeah, the Obama poster. Yeah, that's cool. Do you sell those shirts online? Like, that's a cool shirt to buy.
Ominous.
Ominous says that. Okay.
Get that at Ominous. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Hope that works.
All right.
They also have some Dreadstar.
Well, thank you both so much for taking your time to talk to me, and hopefully, like I said, we'll see each other at a convention someday this year, next year. So.
Sounds good.